everyone, it's Laura from Laura's Handcrafted Treats and Treasures. Welcome to or back to my channel. All right, I am here with Amanda's new journaling joy for May. This one is called A Creative Life. It's so pretty with all the pastel colors. I'm going to link her in the description box. I'll link this kit, which is on her Ko-fi. I've talked about this before. I'll link her Facebook page and I will link her YouTube channel. This particular one that she goes through, but yeah, you can search all her stuff. It's great. So, what I sort of popped into my head, well, I sort of slept on it because I'm like, okay, I started to get some ideas, and then, you know, sometimes I just get my best ideas when I sleep, and it sort of started to come to me, but not quite as quickly as I would have liked. Anyhow, this is sort of what I'm thinking. I'm going to go through the papers as I'm explaining it. So I have done this on the 110-pound cardstock paper, and then I've backed it with this one. And I've tried to coordinate, like she has some of them that coordinate, like she's, well, we'll get to the little, I don't think I have them. Yeah, they're down here somewhere. But anyway, she's an art journaler, and this is sort of her space that she's art journaling in. And then this is going to be a cover number 1. Okay, this is just sort of what is in my head. So she's an artist, and here are her paint supplies, and this is going to be cover number 2. We have a seamstress, which reminds me of my mother. She was self-taught, and I thought she was brilliant. She could do anything. And so this is going to be cover number 3. And then this is a quilter. My mother also quilted. I don't quilt. I can't sew a button to save my life. I can sew paper though. And this is going to be cover number 4. And so each of these are going to be their own little booklets. And what I had in mind was, let me get to the other papers first because these came afterwards. So what I have done is I have printed front and back these different patterns, and I have done 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's going to be 1 of each, which they're the same on both of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So each of my covers, my signatures, are going to get 2 pages, 1 of each, and they're the same. Like I said, they're just printed front and back, but they're going to get 2 of these. Then I'm going to go ahead and put 1 of these in, which is the same every single one. I take that back. I did, no, yes, I did these 2, and then these were the same. So however I line the books up, they'll go opposite of each other. Or it'll be like book 1, book 3, book 2, book 4. And then this was the other backing. And then I did all of those the same. So those are going to go in the center. So that's really going to give me 3 pages or 6 to journal on. Because my thought is I want to make this strictly just a single 4 weekly, and you'll see that as we get going, where you can jot down your thoughts for May, or you could use it for June or July. I think I'll just cut out some of the monthlies that Amanda gave us in a kit, and then I'll just put them with the journal, and they can put whatever they want or put nothing at all. So, so she has these cute little cards. These will all go in. Obviously the quilter will go with the quilter. Let's see, the art journaler, the printer or the painter. And then, I think this one was the printmaker, or this one. And then she'll go with the sewing. So I have those, and I've backed them. This is not a backing from Amanda, but it was one I liked, so I chose to use that. And then here are some of the tags that came with it. And then some of the backgrounds that came with her kit. This one I did not put a backing on. I don't need to, because these are going to be, I can always back these if I want to. But as the pocket, as it stands, I don't really need to. Well, I might, because you might see that on the other side. You have to think about that. A couple more little pockets. And then here are the fussy cuts, and she goes through all of this in her video. All the mirrored fussy cuts that she did. And then here's where I went into the journal pages, and I'm not sure, I may keep the orange now that I'm looking at it. I wasn't sure I liked this. This was a different backing. I have a whole folder in my computer that just says background paper. When I find one I like, I throw it in there so I can just kind of mix things up a little bit. But my thought was, at some point in the journal, I'm going to put these planners in each of the journal, each of the signatures, I guess you would say, and then it will go into one spot. Don't know if I'm going to make a little box that you can just put them in and pull out what week you're working on. I don't know if I'm going to do a Midori. I don't know. I'm not worried about how I'm going to house them yet. Right now, I'm just focusing on this. But anyway, I did these 2 to a page. I think that's enough just to jot down a little note of what you want, and then they can just write the month and the week that they're planning. And then on the back, I again went into that paper, and it lines up pretty good. If I hold it to my window, if I cut these out perfectly, it will match up to this. So they can just jot down like their little notes, and then on the back they can get a little more elaborate on what they need to accomplish that week. So I have to do another one of these, so each one will get its own. And then I have these envelopes that I've had forever. They are going to be a little bit big, so I don't know if I'm going to put them in the journal like this. I'm going to have to cut down each side, or how. I just want to get them used up. I've had them forever, and I'm trying to use things up in my own stash. Or I could actually just glue all this down, slice across the top, and then I can insert my little thing this way, although it's going to be really small for that. Anyway, we'll figure that out, but somehow there's going to be an envelope somewhere in there where you're going to find each one. All right, so that's my plan. I'm going to get started, and then I will come back when I have put the signatures together. See you in a minute. Okay, I have actually gotten quite a bit done. It is the next day for me, but I'm surprised at how much I got done because I have a lot going on again. But I have all of my pieces, pockets, tags, all of that. They're all cut out and inked and ready to go. These ones I am going to do on my brother's scan and cut, so that's going to be for probably another day. And like I said, I've said in other videos, it takes me several days to film these, but I did get a really good start on this one. So in my brain, I kept thinking, I want a box to put my stuff in. The 4 books that are going to represent basically your weekly planner or journal for 1 month. Okay. So, but I wanted them all separate for some reason. I wanted them to stand alone. So this is what I ended up with. And I have all of my books ready to go. So this is each individual little journal. So we'll get into those as we go. I am going to get those sewn, and then I will be using these for borders. And then you will be able to pluck out each book for whatever month you want to put on, or week you want to put on there. And then, yeah, it'll be like your weekly planner for a month. And even I don't get it done in May, this is still good for any time really. Spring, the colors are so beautiful. June, July. So anyway, so I have those all done. I will show those as we get going. But this one I made out of my normal, I always show the folders that I have, and I had actually some wallpaper that matched it. So yeah, I got it all together. I probably took the long way around, but that's all right. I'm all right with that. I got what I wanted. So I'm going to use this for the cover. Wait a minute, is that the right? Yep. and this isn't the focus. The journals are. This is just to store them in. So I'm going to use this for the back. And then I thought I'm going to take and make another one of these, but for the spine that wraps all the way around. And then I'll put this spine on it. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to decorate these a whole lot because the idea is these are going to be in the bookshelf. And then these are going to slip in and out. So one thing I did have to adjust was when I had put this in, I had that flap that you have to put in on the inside, and then my books were getting caught, and I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't think about that. But I just took another matching piece of paper where I did the edges and put that in there, and now they just slip right in. I'm sure there was, like I said, there was probably another way to do this, but I think it came out cool. All right, now we're gonna, I'm gonna go ahead and start thinking about the books, and then I will be back, and hopefully that might be the last time, because I think I want to get this done. It's really pretty. So anyway, I'll quit my blabbling, and I'll see you in a few. Okay, so here we are. I did get my spine on. I have these books completed. So when you're pulling them out, whichever way you want to stack them up, you have your 4 weeks, but now I think they can be monthlies. So I may put a monthly calendar in there as well, because there's a lot of room. So I've saved one of them to kind of go through what I did with that one, and then we'll go through these. All right, so one thing I have been doing, and I'm going to show you how to put your signature in, but one thing I've been doing is I've been adding a little bit of washi tape. I've gotten a couple different ones, and I've been adding them to the center, and I just like it because I feel like it just makes it more sturdy. So we're going to sew this one together, and then I'm going to show you some of the elements that is going to go in it. So I'm going to go ahead and get my clips, and you probably don't need 4. I mean, 1 on each side is probably good, and I mean 1 on that side and 1 on this side. I'm making sure it's, you know, down there tight, but I do go ahead and I put 1 on this side as well. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to grab my stuff that I keep right close to me for sewing in signatures. I used to keep it someplace where I had to dig it out every time, and I'm like, oh, this is really annoying. 1, 2, 3. So it's about 3 lengths of the book. You would make it longer if you want more of the thread to maybe hang out the bottom and add beads or this and that. But 3 is good. You don't need any more than that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get that ready to go. All right. Now I'm going to take my template, which I've used for every single one of these. And this is just something, I keep a bunch of different ones for different size books that I make. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my needle. Now this needle, I did use it all, but this needle I got because I wanted to put beads. I think it's something with lace, and she shows how to put beads on these so that they become a pokey tool. I just never got to it, but I like it because it's thin. It's about the size, a little bit smaller than the needle that I use, so I don't have these really big holes that I don't need. So I'm going to grab my book. I'm not going to mark anything because I just don't think it has to be that persnickety. I'm going to go ahead and grab my template, and I'm going to push that down just inside my book. I'm going to line up either edge, and then I'm not going to let go of one end. And then I'm going to go straight down that line and poke that through that line. And I'm going to come to this one and I'm going to do the same thing. And it's not easy to do with just this needle, so I really got to get some beads on here. Oop, I moved it, but I can see the hole right here on this one. Okay, so I'm going to hold that again. I'm going to move this down, and then I'm going to go right there. All right, so I've got them in, and I'm just going to make sure, yep, it came through. it came through, and that one needs a little bit more, and it came through. Okay, now don't take these off yet because we want everything to stay lined up. But I'm going to put my needle back right away, and that way I know I won't lose it. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go through the first hole. Now some of you know how to do this, so you can just fast forward, but I do have some new subscribers that maybe have never done a signature before, and maybe they would like to know how to do this. So this is a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So as you can see, I attached it over here, and that's just so I don't pull it back through. So I'm going to take this straight down the bottom hole, and I'm going to hold it kind of together to make sure I'm not going in between any of the pages. Another thing that you want to do before you get too far is you want to check and make sure all your pages are going the right way. I have done that before. I've been able to fix some of them without actually tearing it apart, but I have had to tear some apart. So I'm at the bottom. Now I'm going to go straight up to that top hole. I'm going to come through, and now I'm going to grab that before I lose it. I'm going to go back through that middle hole, and I'm not worried about them being tightened up right now. It'll work. When I come back through, I want to make sure this string is over here and the next string coming through is on the opposite side. So you can see my needle and my string is on the opposite side. So at this point, I'm going to undo these. My string is through. I'm going to undo it, get that out of my way, and now I'm going to just pull it a little bit, tighten it up a little bit, go ahead and make a knot, and then this is where I'm going to give it that snug, and I can feel it just pulls just a little bit more, and then I have a nice snug signature. And then I'm going to go ahead and give that a couple more ties. Maybe. Wish my fingers worked the way they used to when I was younger, but I guess we're all going to have to deal with that, right? Someday. We all got to deal with it. All right, so now I'm just going to snip about here, and we're good. Okay, so this is my 4th signature. Now, I did go ahead and make a border for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do these steps with this last one with you. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get this here. And I'm going to take my art glitter glue. And then I just do all over, and I sort of lay it sideways and kind of just get it all over the little, I don't know, flowery part, the die cut part that's sometimes hard to get. But I just keep working it until all of that is covered. I don't care if there's extra. It's gonna dry clear anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get all that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put my border on, and I've done this on all the books. Now I'm gonna lay it down, and very quickly I'm gonna take my paper and I'm gonna squish it over, but I'm not gonna leave it there because I don't want it to stick. And I'm gonna lift that up, and then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna turn it, see how I turn that glue in so it's not on glue again? And then I'm gonna go ahead and get that on. And there we go. So it's still a little bit tacky, but if I need to go back and fill up underneath, that's fine. I can still do that. And you can see I did get glue kind of all over the edge there, which is fine. I can just wipe it off. Okay, so another thing that I've done, let's see here. All right, so on each of the signatures, I created an envelope. And this kit came with 3 colors, and I really wanted to do 4 since I'm doing 4 books. So I went back into the Country Gingham, which had this yellow, and decided I would go ahead and put it here. And I kind of matched them up to where I thought the books would go. So this, I really want to just pop out like this. So again, well, I guess I should explain this a little bit. So I took the Country Gingham yellow, put it on this side. I put some here, but this has a little pocket, see? And I didn't just want to leave this part white, so I just took another little strip and put it over top of that. Now I'm going to glue this so that it flips out. So I'm going to go ahead and get my glue on here. And I think another thing I did was I put some paper in between the two sheets, because I have the other ones completely done. Well, not completely, but close enough. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some glue on there. Okay. And then I'm just going to lay this kind of close to the edge, looking at the top and the bottom, making sure I have it where I want it. I can still see a little bit of a line there, and it's not infringing on my spine, which is important. Okay, and then we have a flip out. Okay, because of my, I don't know if you call it OCD or what, but I did not like that just white, and I'm like, okay, how can I fix that? So on each of them, as you'll see when I do the flip through, I made a pocket to cover this. And so I left these without putting a score in them. And then I just scored the top because I like that nice crisp look of that score. And I just think it helps the tags slide in and out a little bit easier. But I'm going to go ahead and throw this in there. Whoop. Been getting sloppy. Okay, I'm going to turn this towards me so I can see it. And then, again, just right here. Okay, so then I have a pocket. And this flips like that. And there we go. All right. So then another thing I did was, there's my little, okay, so here is my weekly planner thing, but I think I'm going to go ahead and maybe do a monthly one and put it throughout the journal somewhere. So I might do maybe 4 of these, so they could do like, say, April, May, June, July. This could be a planner, but they would have the weeks for each month. But then they could, because there's lots of space in here. I mean, I could never do 1 week in all of this. I would never have that much to talk about. But, well, I'd have that much to do, I can tell you that. But I've never had that much to talk about. All right, so another thing I did throughout each book, I sort of mirrored every single book. So I made, this came with the kit, but as you'll see in the other ones, I made extra of these. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that one in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, about right there is fine. And then I have this that can go in here for the pocket. And then I'm also gonna, on each book, I put sort of their matching, like if it was the quilter, then I would put the quilter. So I'm gonna put that right there. I did back them with, I'll get back in shot here. I did back them with a digital, thinking I was going to use them as cards, but then I decided I wanted to do this. They're busy enough, so I didn't need extra really pockets or tags and journal spots. I needed more decoration. Okay, so that's gonna go there. And then let's see, what else did I do? I have to look at one of my other books. I think this, yeah, so this on the inside of the book, is going to go here because it's going to become a pocket. Now I normally would glue these all down because usually I'll just stick one tag or something in there, but I'm going to leave these a little bit extra, so I'm not gluing these just to give it a little bit more gusset room, so that if you want to put extra papers or something in there, you can do that. So I'm going to get that glued down. Okay, right about here looks good. And then, like I said, I sort of mirrored everything that I did throughout the journal. So every one of them got that. Let's see what else I got over here. This is going to become a tag. I'm still working on that. It's going over here. Now, I wanted to make on each of these pages, let's see if I got the right one. I wanted to make little pockets for each of these because these are all going to be for writing. So I'm going to go ahead and get those on. I got them all prepped and ready to go so that I could kind of fly through this quickly. This is going to be sort of the end of the video. And I don't think I got these perfectly. When I printed fit to page, and then when I printed the extras, it wasn't fit to page, so it doesn't line up perfectly, but I don't care. You're not going to know it once you put something in there. Okay, and then on the very back side of this one, of course, you've got this pocket. So every single week is sort of, it is mirrored to match, other than maybe some color differences. And there might be a tag here and there that goes in one that maybe the other one doesn't have. Okay, so that one's really off. I don't even think I'm going to keep it down here. Okay, sorry if my head's in view there. Okay, because see, I have this, she's the quilter, so I can always put that here. Or I can put it, I might put it with this one. It can have two tags, right? Okay. Then another thing I did on each of the outsides, I wanted another little pocket. And what I did was I reprinted the inside. So I'm going to take this one. I just cut them in half. This is the other side. And all I did was take one of my pretty little round circle things, and I went like this and ran it through the die cut. So I'm going to go do that real quick. I'll be right back. So I ended up with this. And then I cut the tops off of all of the other ones to make journal cards, which will also go in. I'm trying to have no scraps left for this one. And I won't have glue if I don't put that pin back on there. All right, so then I took my scoreboard and I scored at 1/4 of an inch, and that's why I wasn't worried about getting rid of the white, because you're not going to see it, and at 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so you get the idea. Clip off your end so that when they lay together, they're not crossing each other. It looks like I need just a little bit more off of that one. There we go. And then I'm going to get that taken care of later, but inked it all up. And then you have your little corner piece, which this one goes here. Wait a minute. Yes, this one goes here, and I have to ink that one up. So we're going to do that one later, but you get the idea, and I'm going to show you in the other books. Then, let's see, that's about it. So I went through, and then I filled my little pockets. I think I put that one here. This one is going to go in the front when I get that pocket in. I think this one went in the back when I get that pocket in. So I'll show you in the other 4. All right. So this is what I've ended up with, and I have a series of, like I said, 4, and this can go right in your bookshelf, and then you can just pull out the week that you're working on, and there you go. Now, I did put this border on, and then I didn't like the top. I think I'm going to go back and put a border here and here, and then one inside here and here, just to finish that off, and then I'm going to decorate the spine. I'm trying not to focus too much on the actual case because I want the focus to be on the books. But let's finish this up. You get the idea. I hope it inspires you. I still have all of my little decorations, my little fussy cuts, and I think some of them that can go back to back. Which one? I think this was a back to back. No, that wasn't a back to back one. This is back to back. I don't know, but I might put these back to back and then make like a bookmark or something out of them. But anyway, I've got those to play with. But here's what in general the journals look like. Okay, so they're all going to be similar, except I've changed the color of the envelope that's on the inside. So here's the little pocket I was talking about. And then you have journaling, 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 journaling. You can still put more stuff here. I do have some decoration to do, which I'm going to do that later. And then, of course, I'm going to make a tag out of that. And then here is, I used the pink, and this is the journaler, I think. Wait a minute. Yep, the journaler, the planner, and then another pocket here. And then journaling, 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 and then another pocket in the back. Oh, I forgot to ink that one. Uh-oh, hurry, scurry. Oh, no, I think I didn't want to ink them. I think, yeah. I wanted them to blend in so well when the picture wasn't in there that you wouldn't even know. All right, so these are all the same. So I'm not going to go to each page. I'm just going to go to the middle because they're literally all the same. So when I got to the middle, I switched to the purple. So I did the purple envelope and then the purple covering. And then when I got to this one, I did the I don't know if you call that green. It's more like a jade or something. It's a beautiful color though. And then, of course, I did that one, and this is the dressmaker. And then when we got to this one, I did the yellow so that each book was kind of distinctive to itself. So anyway, they were fun to do. I'm still working on them, but because I am now not able to get in my craft room very often, I wanted to get this video out. I may be doing some short videos. I just need to take a break from doing any journals for a while and just play. I want to play making some pockets and just play. I want to play with book pages is really what I want to do. And so I don't know that I'm going to be working heavy on any journals, but I wanted to get this out. I hope it inspires you, and yeah, give me a thumbs up and a like. I'd appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.